Hi again. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller. And today we're going to be doing the first half of the What Sewed videos. And this will be Monday through Thursday, June 15th through the 18th. And y'all, Depop was on fire. I think I have 12 or 13 orders on there. And, we checked yesterday just for like a 7-day period. For Robert, his non-eBay sales are exceeding eBay at this point combined. All of the non-eBays, which for him mostly right now it's Poshmark and Depop.
Right. I haven't sold anything on Mercari in a month. Those are the the 4, right? Or is it 5?
No, you don't have it. Oh, you have Whatnot.
I have Whatnot,
and you haven't
but
sold nothing.
I've never sold anything on there. But we'll get back to Whatnot in a second. But Poshmark was just a hair shy of Depop, eBay. And then with what the couple I'd sold on Depop had pushed it over so that they were more. And between the two of them, they don't have as many items listed as eBay does.
And mine, even though eBay still far exceeds the others, they're catching up between all of them. At some point, I have no doubt that my sales on these platforms may exceed eBay. So, I'm thrilled. It's just, using Nifty makes it easy because we can just go into Nifty and pull all of our sales instead of back and forth to all the different platforms. And then, Robert has his eBay, I have mine, his Poshmark, mine. So yeah, that helps us keep all of this organized. And it's just been, an amazing turn of events since I agreed to start cross-listing, and especially to Depop. Depop is just hopping right now.
I still have when free shipping goes away, that it's going to fall off. And
it might.
It will, because that's a big discount to the buyers. Sometimes it could be 50% of the cost of the item or more, depending on, the size and weight.
Your
Whatnot question or thought is, will I ever sell anything on Whatnot?
Its clothing is so competitive on there.
And the clothing that sells on there is, it's not all new. I mean, I see the shoe people sell a lot of, they go to the outlet malls and stuff, I guess, and they have the new in the box, the new clothes. But other people are selling used stuff on there, I assume. But they're doing it live, and I'm not doing live. I've never done a live on there on that account. Rebel and I've done lives on her account, so she's got a following on there from having done those. And I don't know, will anybody ever go on there and look for the things that I'm selling? I don't know that they will.
I don't know, unless you've got something just really unique, like a vintage purse or, a really cool pair of sneakers. Maybe then, especially if we mess up on the price.
Yeah, I need to get I have some Ed Hardy pants.
Yes.
That might do, but I expect that those will do really well on Depop.
I
paid $2 for them. They have a spot on them I need to get cleaned, and I bought some new super cleaner that's supposed to get that out of there. I think Lest Oil would take it out, but I don't want to deal with the smell of the Lest Oil.
Nope. That was a Gemini fail right there, because, it was too much work to get rid of the oily chemical smell off of our clothes.
My thought on that is, if you have one spot on your pants and you use the Lest Oil on there, and then you soak it in some water and vinegar and stuff, I think that it might come out. But the pants I washed were filthy with oil, and I had Lest Oil all over them. So
it was a test.
It was a test. So to me, it was successful. Someone told me it wasn't, but I do believe it was successful, because
it was
a test. It was R&D, right?
Yep.
It needed to happen. And if I could find a way to get the Lest Oil smell, I would definitely use it again. But hopefully this S23 or S32 or whatever it is will do just as well and not have that kind of smell with it. Before you get started, we're going to have a couple of shipping snafus within the postal system that we got to talk about. One is, I think, might be the postal system, and the other one is some sort of weird eBay glitch, throw me a defect that I don't deserve kind of thing.
I think I had sales on all of my platforms. I think so. When I change screens, I'll know for sure. I do. I have sales now. Granted, it's one on Mercari and one on Whatnot, but nevertheless, here we go. First thing was Mercari. I sold this Russ Troll Clown Plush doll for $9.95. Had 2 sales on Etsy. This first one is A&W Restaurant Bear Plush. Pretty sure this was from the high bid estate sale we won several years ago. These 2 together sold $24.95.
Half a decade ago.
Pretty much, almost.
5 years in May, so yeah.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
But we paid $500 and $600. A little money.
Thousands. All right, next was this Rust Troll, must be Rust Day, Troll Day, Rust Troll Pajama Bag, sold for $19.95. And now Depop. First thing that sold on Depop were these Fisher-Price Little People A to Z animals. I had talked about this, I think, last week. I had not all of these animals, but most of these animals with a waterfall listed. Somebody just wanted the waterfall. They offered me $20 just for it. So I took the listing down, sold them the waterfall, and then I had also found some more of these animals. So I went ahead and adjusted the number of figures, and it sold very, very quickly on Depop for $30. So I made $50 originally from a listing that I had initially listed for $40, but I added a few more animals. This was a Disney Chippendale, but I think it's Dell. He's the red-nosed one. Plush. Got a $6 offer on Depop. You know, I made $5.34 on this. So, right now, as long as they're reasonable and depending on how long they've been listed, I'm taking some of these lower offers on Depop because I'm almost making what I'm selling it for.
I know we've talked about this, but I'm going to reiterate it again with Rebel talking about taking a lower offer on here. You can take a significantly lower offer on Depop and still make more than you would on eBay with a higher offer. They're only charging 3.9%, not 13.6%. So it's a difference of 10%. Plus you're promoting at 8%, and at least half of your stuff, if not more, gets the promoted fee. So you're easily paying 14% more on eBay on average, kind of. And the last I looked, 80% of my sales on eBay are promoted.
Build-A-Bear, Sammy the Squirrel from the Great Wolf Lodge, took a $10 offer. This is Thai Pillow Pals Raccoon, sold for $8. These are Angry Birds, Star Wars Rio, plush lot, sold for $18.50. None of them made their sounds anymore. Another one of the smalls that I had listed on eBay forever, cross-listed it, sold within a few days. These are Burger King Rugrats Phil and Lil figure, sold $6.95. Even shirts. Can you see just the variety of stuff I'm selling on there? Don't be afraid to list anything except electronics and anything with a teether. Those are the 2 things so far that I have realized, you can't list.
The other thing you can't list, well, you can list it, but you can list the pretend calculator. It's not electronic. You'll get a ding, but they'll remove the ding.
Back. Yep. This is Augusta Sportswear women's shirt, sold for $9. Still, this next is a bundle of 4 items that sold on there. And I come to find out, Depop sent me 1 label. I was concerned that I was going to get 4 labels and have to do 4 shippings. But nope, they sent me 1 label. This person bought the Applause Dumbo Bean Plush for $5. This Little Bo Peep Toy Story 3, of course, that is hot right now. These sold for $15. And then this person also bought the Moana figure lot that I had put together for $14. And then just a variety of Disney figures that, I just didn't have anything for them to go with. So I thought, why not? And they sold for $18. And I had 3 sales on Poshmark. First was this Baby Gun Flora, the bunny rabbit plush. I had a gunned elephant that was like this, and then a second rabbit. I had made a lot of those two, and then I realized I no longer had video for this listing, so I took it down and redid the listing with a video, and then it sold very quickly on Poshmark for $10. Next on Poshmark, just listed this also, Little Tykes Pretend Play Construction Helmet Hat, sold for $15. And Kohl's Dr. Seuss Lot of Plush, these sold for $27. I have a problem with this order though. I got a message yesterday from Poshmark saying, this is a reminder to ship. Well, I had shipped last week. I think I shipped on the 19th or something, or 18th, and it's not tracking. So there was a way to respond in the order that said, I've shipped it, but it's not tracking. And then they sent me a message back today saying, thanks for shipping, pay attention to the tracking. Has anybody had this happen, and what's going to happen in the end if it's lost? I'm assuming they're going to get a refund and I'm going to lose the money. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened to this package. Our mail carrier was on vacation last week, so we actually had to take all of our packages to the post office. I'm not saying that, it's lost in that building somewhere, but it wouldn't have happened if she was here and scanning all our packages.
Nope.
It
wouldn't have.
Nope. So we'll see how this plays out, but I have a feeling I'm going to lose the order and the money.
Let's go ahead and talk about my issue. So 2 months ago, in April, I sold some jeans and
shipped those jeans.
Ordered on the 9th, shipped on the 10th, delivered on the 14th. No problem at all. No problem at all. The 17th of June, I got a message from the buyer saying, hey, I got my jeans back in April. Why am I getting a message about a new delivery for these? I said, it's probably just, I haven't said anything else. It's probably just a glitch in the system. It happens sometimes. You know how we've had one that we shipped that said we shipped the item, but the tracking showed that it was shipped somewhere else and delivered. It shipped before we ever shipped it or even got the order, and it was a fiasco. No problem at all. They sent me a few days later, hey, I see that it's been delivered, but it was delivered in Florida. They live in Wisconsin. I said, yeah, it's just that glitch. It happens. No big deal. And yesterday I noticed that I had a defect on my account, and it was for late shipment, late delivery of the jeans that were ordered and shipped and delivered in April, because there was a second tracking number now associated with my order. And when it got somewhere in the delivery process, eBay picked it up that it wasn't shipped and delivered on time, and I got a ding for it. So I went into their automated system and picked a glitch in the system or something to that effect. I can't remember. Technical issue. That's what glitch in the system. Technical issue. Explained it, and then a little while later I got a message that said, yeah, we've removed that defect from your account. So there's some weird stuff going on with the orders. With the one that Rebel had, where she shipped the item, it was like the tracking number had been reused.
Reused by the post
I don't know
office.
what went on with this one, where my order in eBay had a second tracking number attached to it that wasn't. It was different.
It was a totally different tracking number. Okay. I don't know how this happened, but luckily eBay took out the defect. It wouldn't have affected his top-rated seller status, but you don't know what's going to happen next. Something else happens, and then something else happens, because you never know how, things go on eBay, and you just don't want that piling up on you. So we went ahead and took care of that one, because it was definitely an unwarranted defect. And then my whatnot sale, these giant microbes. It was beer bread, flu, E. coli, and some kind of heart cell. Yeah. I was about to take this listing down because I picked up Athlete's Foot this last trip to the bins. Not me personally, the plush that I was going to add to this, but it ended up selling for $25 on Whatnot. And then eBay Poor eBay. Ugh. Frustration. First thing that sold were these Department 56 trees. They've been listed for quite a while. Picked them up at my favorite little estate sale company at some point. I want to say I paid $2. They sold for $17.95. Fisher Price, my first doll plush, sold for $9.95. An IKEA cat plush sold for $9.95. This 24K Pink Panther hand puppet plush sold for $14.95. Big O plastic coin bank pig from 1964 by A.J. Renzi sold for $25. Another one of the sets of Buffalo China. This set sold for $11.65. Chimera women's jeans sold for $12.68. This was the best sell of the weekend or the week. This game Robert picked up at a yard sale for $1, and it sold probably the same day, if not the next day, on eBay for $79.95. It's called The Game of Pilgrim's Progress. It was complete based on the instructions and everything. So that was a really nice quick sell for us. And then this was a viewer sale, so thank you so much, Raven. Raven picked up 2 Christmas items from me. First was this stained glass candle, little holder, some kind of decoration. Sold it for $11.50. And then she also picked up these duck Christmas ornaments that were made out of like wood shavings. Very neat ornaments. And they sold also for $11.50. So thank you again, Raven. And then Robert. Yeah, Robert had, it looks like 5 sales on Poshmark and 4 on eBay. First thing that sold were these Tommy Hilfiger women's jeans, sold for $11. Levi's 518 women's jeans, lots of distress and rips, still sold for $15. Levi's women's jeans with the white tab, high-rise, definitely vintage, sold for $40. Judy blue women's patriotic jeans sold for $31. These are some really nice sales. And then American Eagle jeans sold for $18. Somebody had like recycled these. They had like inside out hems and cuffs, and just, it was very different, very interesting. But yeah, they sold for $18. And then toys. PJ Masks, little figure lot, sold for $15. And then on eBay, sold a pair of Chico's women's linen shorts for $10. Earth shoes, love finding Earth shoes, and Clark's. Those are like the 2 that we really like picking up, and we can get them for, $1, $2, $3. These sandals sold for $15. Wrangler men's jeans sold for $13. And this purse, bad buy on my part, took forever. I bought a box of vintage purses right when I was trying to expand out of toys and plush and stuff like that. This took like 3 or 4 years to sell, and Robert ended up taking a 50% off offer, and they sold for $10. But it's gone. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this. We're trying to get our videos done quickly so that we can get them ready and scheduled so we can enjoy our time out in Missouri in like, what, 2 weeks? Like
This is the 24th. We're going to be leaving on the 3rd. So this is Wednesday. We're going to be leaving next week's Saturday morning. RJ has to work Friday night, so We're going to be leaving Saturday morning,
Yeah.
bright and early.
So we've got lots of stuff to get processed, lots of videos to get made. All right, y'all, get to work. Bye.